or not. Okay, it's a lot of cable there. Okay, that's better. It's a little improvement I have. Look at the needle came out. I can get the cover back in. The fucking needle came out. Hey, needle, get back in. So now the needle's just kind of just flopping around in there now. In the hole. There you go. Alright, there we go. Got the needle through. So meow, let's see if we can get the little plate in there. I think we gotta pull the spring up all the way. Okay, pull the spring up all the way and just drop this sucker in there. There we go. Okay, and that little plate should keep everything in there. It should keep the needle from flopping around. Okay, now we go put it in the carb. It goes this way. It's not wanting to go in. Why don't you want to go in? There's a little pin in there. Keeps it from spinning around. There we go. Okay. Put this in there. Tighten this down all the way. I know it's kind of weird that I have to do it this way. What I could do is loosen this first. Loosen the top cap. And just like that. It's actually loosening itself as I tighten it. I think we got money, man. I think that's it. Okay. So now let's try to get this elbow orientated. So we want it loose, but not just like that. Okay, there. Now it's nice and snug too. So there you go. That's it. I think that'll work. I think. So there it is. There's the throttle. It works. It gets kind of stuck a little bit. Kind of have to help it a little bit. I kind of don't like that. It should snap back, you know, smoothly. It could be because I've got it kinked up a little bit. Yeah, maybe the spring is weak or something, man. So it's almost like I have one of those chopper throttles, you know, that just stays in one place. Okay, I think that'll do it. I hope. I hope that's not enough meat. That's as much meat as I can give it. So yeah. So what we'll do. So if you remember, there's just a tiny little opening here. I'm gonna go take everything back out, and we're just gonna slip the slide back in and see if that goes down all the way. If that goes down all the way, I'm pretty confident that's okay. And then if this is all the way down and we got it at the max loose adjustment, that means we can tighten the cable up a little bit. We can actually use that cable adjuster that's on the throttle, on the throttle. So, all right. So I'm gonna go take this bad boy apart again. But this is progress. Now, could we thread the elbow a little more to make it shorter? Yeah, we could. Let's compare it to the KLX one. KLX carb cap. Let's see if that does the trick. Okay, I'm gonna take this bad boy apart again, and we'll see how far down in the throat it goes. Oh, there's the plate. Compress this thingy. Pull it out of the slot. I'm getting pretty good at this. I'll tell you this: it's a lot easier than it was before when it was shorter. So maybe we could shorten it a little more, but I think we should be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna go just drop the carb into there. Drop the slide into there. Yeah, that looks good. That looks about the same, right? It looks almost the same. So I think that should do it. I don't think we have to mess with anything anymore. See how smooth that is? It's good. Okay, so there. So I got the throttle to work. So basically, all we had to do, I'm going to go over what we did. So let's take this out again. And we'll compare it to the other one also. So basically, all we had to do was we had to take, well, I bought this Mikuni elbow. It's a 45-degree elbow. It was about $10 on Amazon. And we screwed it onto here without using a nut. We took the nut off so we can get it all the way in there as much as possible. And then what we did is I couldn't find the right die for this to thread. So what we did is we threaded this in M6 1.0 pitch, and we threaded it all the way down here, and then we took the little fitting that the cable goes into, and then we screwed it into there, and then we looked at the little window, and then we measured how far we had to cut the threads on this, and then cut the threads, clean it off a little bit. Also we had to re-tap this, so this is a different thread pitch also now. We had to rethread this, and we're just going to screw this on. There's supposed to be a nut here, but we took it off so we can make it as short as possible. I don't think it'll make a difference, man. And then just use Loctite, you know. Put Loctite, and then we cut it just enough so when we stick the cable in there, I know, kind of weird, it binds. That should be fine. So when we stick the cable in there, we can put the clip that holds the cable in there. Got it? Yeah, and then we can get the clip in there, and then that way that keeps this from popping out, you know. And then yeah, that's it. That's all we did, and it gave us the little extra bit of cable that we need for it to work. So I'm hoping this works similar to how it was on the KLX. So before I had it working, but like the cable is really tight. We really need to get a longer cable is what we need to do. Getting a longer cable would have been the best solution, but I was worried about this hitting the gas tank when we put it on. I don't think we have to worry about that. Let's go get the other. So here's the two side by side, and they look pretty much identical. Yeah, so if you remember, where's the part that I cut off? I don't remember. It just dropped somewhere. But if you remember, this was a lot longer. This was actually, it was like way out here where my finger is right now. It was like way out there. So it's a lot shorter. Yeah, so let's take this fitting out. So this fitting came from the KLX Carb. This brass fitting here that holds the cable in. So as you can see, it's rough. It's pretty much the same. It's the exact same, almost. In fact, the KLX is actually a little bit longer now. So that's what it looks like. I'm a little worried about this part sticking out on the bottom, but like I said, there's nothing that interferes with this inside the carb. Yeah, there's nothing. I was thinking of just putting the nut in there, but I was thinking like, well, what if the nut came loose and it just started like rattling around in there? I don't want that. So I decided not to put the nut. we'll just put some Loctite in there to keep it from like moving too much. If anything, it's okay to leave it loose because look at this. See, this one is like that. This is just like kind of riveted in the place, sort of, kind of. So I think it would be okay for this. But this is a Mikuni carb, and that's a KN carb, so I don't know. Maybe they work differently. I'm not sure, but I think this is okay. I don't think this doesn't have any kind of O-ring or anything that seals it, you know, except for like this O-ring right here that seals it when you close it. So I think it's fine. I looked in. We looked at the slide, and it will not interfere with this. It won't run in that or anything. So it's okay to leave that exposed, like sticking out there like that. We did that so we can get this all the way in there as much as possible. There should be a nut on top of this as a stopper nut, but we just took it out. We're just going to use this as a nut. And this goes on there. Beautiful. Everything worked out. And I didn't really have to spend a lot of money. The die would have been like $10 or something. So there we go. They use these weird ass sizes, man. I'm telling you. They do use some weird sizes. So, but there it is. That's the completed product. So now we've squared away the cable. I think the cable should be good to go. I feel like we should still get a longer cable. If we can get like a cable that was like 2 inches longer would be great, because it kind of binds a little bit. It's a little bit, but it's noticeable when you like turn when you turn the handlebar all the way one direction, it'll start revving it a little more because of that. So all right, so that's done. The next thing we have to do is this guy, modify the intake pipe to become longer. So that'll be another video, but I'm glad we got this done. That's one problem. And then the next problem is just extending that, and then that's it. We pretty much got it. And then just hook up the fuel line. Find a way to hook up the fuel line. The fuel lines are a little bit in different areas. So all right, that's the end of that video. How to modify the cap. So you can use a KLX throttle, or mine has a Motion Pro turbo throttle. It's called Turbo Throttle is what they call it, Motion Pro. It's pretty good. But yeah, I had modified that throttle so it would give me more meat, more cable going through here, because it would not work before. So that's why I wanted to use that cable, because I already spent like hours and hours trying to modify that to get that to work with this. So, but the best solution is to get a custom throttle cable that has more a longer jacket, and then a longer wire cable inside. So you need to have a longer jacket so your controls don't bind up, and then you need a longer cable so you don't have that, the problem with the slide being too tight. But I have a feeling that'll do the trick. It seems like it's fine now. So, and it looks like we can actually use the throttle adjustment on the actual throttle to adjust the throttle now. So now I'm a little worried that the throttle is kind of it's not returning very fast. The spring is really weak on the slide. So I don't know if you can buy sticker springs for the slide, because the other spring, this spring seemed this is a lot stiffer. The spring's a lot, it's a smaller spring. Let's go look at it. So it's a smaller spring in diameter, but when I compress it, it feels like it's stiffer than this. See, that's really soft. This one it's a bigger diameter, but it feels softer. Yeah, it sure does. So I don't know if you can get a thicker or heavier spring for the slide. That seems like what we need, but yeah, because this is what helps return the throttle right here. You don't have a push-pull throttle on the KLX or the KX, so it's just a single cable, and then it relies on this to push the slide back, but it's not doing it. I think it must be binding up in there a little bit, but yeah. All right, so it's a good deal. So we just need to get we just need to fix the throttle intake. All right, hope you've enjoyed that. That's how you modify the top cap on the KX carb to work with the KLX throttle. Here's my gut. Yours may be different, but that's how I had to do it.